Well, here we are, F1 Manager 22. I'm very excited about this one, guys. It's been a long time in the making. A lot of hype about this game. It's time to see if it's all true. I'm very excited about this because I haven't done manager games in a long time, and I've been seeing more and more of this game, and my hype has just been building and building, and now we're finally here, and I'm very excited about this. So let's get into it and let's start a brand new career. Now then, straight away we're jumping into the new menus, and as you can see here, look at the detail on this. My god, this is actually insane. We have a team selection. We have to try and pick who we're going to go for. We've got Mercedes, of course, we've got Red Bull, which seem to be the, I'd say, overall strongest package in 2022. Ferrari, this is definitely an interesting choice because, of course, as we all know, F1 Ferrari strategy, it's not the best mix and they don't really go well together. So this is definitely a tasty option. Then, of course, we have McLaren as we enter the midfield. Do we bring them back to the top? AlphaTauri, can we make them the #1 Red Bull team in the family? Aston Martin, this is a big one, a big project. A lot of investment going in. Of course, Sebastian Vettel retiring in real life, Alonso coming in next season. Williams, this was a really popular choice. A lot of people want to see Williams back at the top of Formula 1 in a return to glory sort of series. Alfa Romeo again, another decent choice. Lovely car, lovely wheels. Bottas, Zhou, the first ever Chinese F1 driver. And then finally has, of course, Magnussen and the Schumacher name in the form of Mick. Now, I've been doing some thinking about this and I've decided I'm going to go with Aston Martin. I feel like this is a very tasty project because Aston are in the lower half of the midfield, possibly towards the bottom, but we have Seb retiring in real life. We'll see what happens in this career mode save. Maybe we not fire Seb, maybe he retires by himself at the end of the first season. Maybe you guys want to keep him around for this project, or maybe we do fire Seb, bring Fernando in. Lots of options, and of course we have the big question: what do we do with Lance Stroll? So we're going to go ahead and choose Aston Martin. Now, with that said, let's quickly break down the situation with Aston Martin. So, of course, we've got the team name. The team rating is 2.5 out of 5. The objective is P8 this season, and the long-term objective is a points contender, which is a bit less than what I expected. The board budget, the starting balance is high, so that's going to help us out and allow us to invest a lot of money. Then we've got the team performance. So as you can see, they're currently 9th out of the 10 cars on the grid. So I'm guessing Williams is the only car below. The driver performance, 7 out of 10. I'm guessing that's boosted by Seb a little bit. Staff though, 10 out of 10. Not very good. The worst staff on the grid. Headquarters though, 5 out of 10. So this is what I mean. There's potential here to invest and improve this team. Then we've got the employees. So we've got, of course, Seb, Stroll, and Hulkenberg. Again, a lot of guys, in the comments and also in the community post mentioned about Nico Hulkenberg. Who knows? Maybe we throw together an all-German lineup. Seb and Hulkenberg in the future. Maybe next season, Fernando and Hulkenberg. Listen, it's going to be exciting. We've got the technical chief, Andrew Green, Aero, Ian Gregg, race engineer Chris Cronin, and then race engineer Ben Mitchell. I'm guessing this one's for Lance and this one is for Seb. And then finally the biography of the whole team. So let's get into it. Right, so we'll go with the full details for myself as a team principal. So let's go ahead and do that. Guidance options, first time guidance enabled. Let's leave that on in case I need some help, but yeah.
Hi there, nice to meet you. I'm Audrey Mensa, one of the team's senior engineers. Welcome to the team. It's great to have you on board.
Well, thank you very much, Audrey. I'm glad to be here. Let's have a little look.
We have great ambitions here at Aston Martin, and this upcoming season will be the time to achieve them. Let's show you the ropes.
Okay, let's have a look.
As our new team principal, you're responsible for a lot of aspects of the team. Everything from managing our team's growth, overseeing our finances, and deciding on race day strategies will be in your hands. You can keep an eye on most things from your dashboard here. I can take you through it now.
Right, let's go.
First up, an overview of the board. They're the ones who set the expectations for the team. If they're confident in your leadership, you'll be fine. If they lose confidence in you, however, they might look to replace you.
Interesting. So we're not just, let's say, leading the team, we could get fired.
The board sets season objectives for the team to achieve. Reaching them will help keep confidence high, so be sure to familiarise yourself with what's expected. You'll want to keep an eye on the long-term objective for beyond this season as well. Okay then, let's look ahead to the race weekend. We need to start preparing for the next Grand Prix, which will be the first of the season. As it's your first day though, there's nothing urgent for you to address. Feel free to explore more, or you can select continue and sign off for the day. Once you do, time will pass, but don't worry about missing anything. You'll automatically sign back in if an important event comes up.
Okay then, so we've had the little briefing of how this all works. Before we get going, all the options at the bottom of the screen, I've literally never played this before, so I'm familiarising myself with these menus for the very first time. We have $32 million to spend. The first race is in 11 days. Now, I feel like, should we just get to work and try to improve things straight away, or should we just be patient? I feel like it'd be bad not to spend some of this money. There's so much to take in that I genuinely don't know where to start. So I think just because of the benefit, that we're going to do a long-term series here. And, again, I don't know how this is going to go on YouTube. It's literally unknown. I don't know what the response from you guys is going to be. If you enjoy it, how long the episodes are going to be. I think we're just going to keep it simple and jump into the first one. There's so much, to take in. We've got, car upgrades, improvements, of course, then the drivers as well, scouting for new drivers, staff, which of course we looked at briefly before. So lots of things to look at and a lot to take in: facilities, boardroom, finances, literally insane. So what we'll do is we're just going to crack on and get to grips with, first of all, the gameplay aspect and see how that goes. So let's have a look. We've got some upcoming events here. You can see we've got the pre-season testing results in 5 days' time. And then we've also got ATR period 2 begins, aerodynamic testing period. Fair enough. Possible upgrades coming there. In 1 week, we've got sponsorship obligations, so driver media appearance, the race itself, and a few more sponsorship obligations. So let's just skip ahead for a few days and see how this all goes. Oh, I've got quite a few of these actually. So we've got the welcome to the team, which we've seen before. Car development key staff. So good morning, Tom. Allow me to introduce to you our talented car development team: Andrew Green, Ian Gregg. We saw that before. The sponsor obligations. I just realised that you joined the team a little too late to negotiate our sponsor obligations for this season.
Looks like you've received a budget approval request. Most of the team's budget is decided by the board at the start of the season, plus whatever we get from last season's prize money and any extra sponsorship revenue we earn.
Okay. So, season kickoff party. Good morning, Tom. We've had an idea for a season kickoff party to bring everyone together to celebrate the team. We'll need a budget approval if we want to go ahead with it. What do you think? Approve the party request. That would drop us in 10,000, but it would improve morale. Denying it would not remove morale, but it also wouldn't cost anything. I want to try and start off on a good foot though. So 10,000 won't do too much damage to the finances. So we'll go ahead and do it. We now know where our car stands versus other teams. I've attached a report below detailing our car's performance. So let's have a look at this then, shall we? So car 1, performance. I'm guessing this is Seb's car. We're 17th in top speed, 17th in acceleration, which isn't ideal. Cornering, we're 17th and 19th. So low speed is better than the high speed stuff. So tracks like Monaco should suit us better. DRS as well, looking okay, 17th. Mainly high speed is an issue. So we've got bad performance in dirty air, high speed cornering, and just general high speed cornering as well. So go to race preparation then. Let's have a look at this. But before we do, we've got the race warning here.
This is your race preparation area, where you'll get the team ready for the upcoming race weekend. You can also find all the information you need on the circuit we're racing on here.
Okay then, so this is race prep.
One thing you'll always need to do before each race weekend is setting our performance targets. These help us generate more potential rewards for the team.
Right then, so performance targets. Let's have a look.
Here we've got the performance targets for this coming weekend. If we meet these, we'll gain extra revenue.
Right. Performance targets, incentives, guarantees, and target types. 3 different things. Sponsors will always offer initiatives which will give them a larger financial reward. Guarantees reduce the base payment for the weekend, but the bonus for achieving the guarantee will outweigh the reduction. And then a hot streak. So whether you can nail it over multiple sessions, that will also help. No, there's no way. There is no way we're hitting Q2, I don't think. It's a lot of money, but I don't see it happening. Race targets, fastest lap. I'm not going to go for that because I don't really know what the performances are so far, so it's a bit of a tricky one to kind of judge. Qualifying position streak. Qualify 15th or higher for 5 races in a row with at least one driver. That is a massive, massive reward. But again, we're not really anywhere near Q2, I don't think. So,
welcome to the archipelago of Formula One. Bahrain might have a small land footprint, but it's showing its big spirit right now in the grandstands. Either way, it's time for another fantastic weekend of Grand Prix racing. The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With the need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. Stay right here, because we're just getting started.
Great to see you again. Welcome to your first race weekend with the team. It's Friday, so we're kicking off with free practice one as usual. During race weekends, you can decide whether you want to manage the practice sessions yourself or whether to hand over control to your team. As it's your first race weekend, you should let the team handle the practice sessions.
fair enough. Apparently not us. So I guess I'll listen to what Audrey said. I don't really have a choice in the matter, so we will simulate the qualifying.
With the third and final free practice session all wrapped up, we now move on to qualifying. While everyone will be talking about the battle for pole, there is still so much to be contested here today. Qualifying presents a tremendous opportunity for all 10 constructors and their drivers, as a strong performance now will put them in good stead for tomorrow's race. Let the competition commence.
Now, before we jump into qualifying, let's have a look at the FP3 results. So Verstappen went fastest with a 33.0. Let's see where our boys finished. So Sebastian Vettel P17, Lance Stroll P18, just ahead of Williams, and 0.3 to half a second off the Haas boys and the McLarens. So a bit of work to be done, but we can work on that. Apparently Stroll has better setup confidence than Seb. I thought Seb would have maybe a bit better setup confidence, also car part knowledge especially, but anyway. They've done 10 out of 15, 11 out of 15, we're ready to go, 100% track acclimatization, so we're looking good.
Radio check.
Look at this.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Look at this. So Seb goes out, and we're going to send Lance out with him, clear track, so we may as well make use. The sounds are really awesome, actually. I love how it sounds. So we've got the cameras here. Here's the onboard. Look at this. This is really sick. So we get the TV camera, the onboard, rear view, slightly off-centered helmet view, and the nose. I think we're going to be using this one quite a bit. I like this view. Now we're going to go out to map view here. And we're going to just simulate time a little bit and speed things up, because I don't want this video to be like an hour long if possible. So I want to try and just speed up a little bit. So we'll go for ×4 and let these guys crack on. We'll watch one of their laps maybe at the end of the session, seeing how it goes. But for now, let's speed up. Let's see how those first laps go. Seb's going to have maybe a bit of traffic in the form of Leclerc here. Stroll will get some clean air. Seb now has got past Leclerc, so hopefully no big time loss there. I think Lance might just encounter Leclerc on his lap here. Let's see if we can have a look here. Okay, there we go. Stroll has literally just cleared him, so that's good news. So let's go with Seb here as he's finishing the lap right now. Let's see what the first lap is. and it will give us a bit of an idea. The ice open, up to the line. First lap on the board. 33.9.
Time for a flying lap. Keep an eye on the standings throughout the session and try and keep the drivers out of the knockout zone. Right then, that qualifying run is done, so the driver will return to the pits now. I know everything happens so fast over a race weekend, but if you need to catch your breath, you can pause for as long as you like. Or, if things aren't moving fast enough for you, you can speed up a little.
That's fine. We can definitely speed up with the on-track stuff. We know how F1 sessions work and qualifying work. It's more about the menus. But across the line, Stroll sets his first lap. And it's a 10th.5 off Sebastian. So let's go back and bring them all in. They should already box automatically. They're in automatic mode. So there's no need for me to do anything. What we will do now is send them out again. I think that's fair. So we will send out Seb and Lance. Get them out there. Right now, it looks like Seb's going to hit traffic, which isn't good. Luckily, the AlphaTauri gets out of the way. What about Stroll? Does he clear the traffic? It's a Williams and an AlphaTauri for Lance. He might just hit them here into turn 4, which isn't ideal. Oh, that's not good. Bit of a block there. Get out of the way. Is that Yuki? I think it is. Please move. There we go. And then after that, it's going to be Latifi. We'll speed up to 2 times and see if he can clear the Williams maybe. Or the Williams may be on a lap actually. If I look at Seb, I think the Williams is on a lap actually. So let's go to the map view. Let's see how these laps go. Seb's going to hit a bit of traffic there in the form of Russell and Schumacher. So the second lap was a 34.0, I think. I'm pretty sure it was slower. Which isn't ideal. What about Stroll? 34.8. So both laps were slower. Fair enough. So no improvements made. We'll have to try and find some more time on the second run. Let's bring them back to the pits. We've got just about enough time to get this turned over, I think. 4 minutes to go. Right, lovely. No traffic. They're going to start the lap with, looks like about 20 seconds to go. So that's worked out nicely for us. Let's go to the onboard view and see the lap. As you can see, Seb just following Stroll. Might even get a slight slipstream. It looks like we've got a better chance of getting through with Seb, as he seems to have a bit more pace. So let's have a look. First sector in the books. 27.5. It's a personal best. 27.5 for Stroll as well. Session over. Checkered flag drops. We're going to speed this back up though. Let's see. Stroll, sector 2. What is it going to be? Slow it down, and we'll see already. Look on the left side, Albon's finished, so he's behind us, which is good. A lot of drivers improving now. 41.7. It's not great from Lance. It's a personal best though from Seb again, so he's finding a bit more time. We'll see if it's enough though. I'm not too confident, but we'll see. Into the pit straight then. Lance first. Let's see what lap he sets. Across the line. It's not an improvement for Lance. Seb does find a bit of time. Not a lot, only about half a tenth, but there we go. Half a second was the deficit, which is more or less what we saw in FP3 to be fair. So it more or less added up. Bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's get into the race.
Drivers are strapping themselves in, ready for race day.
Aston Martin were on target for qualifying. Now it's up to them to defy expectations for the race itself. AlphaTauri did rather well in qualifying. Let's see if they can manage to achieve a strong start for the race itself. We're under clear skies here tonight, certainly to the team's relief. Now they can focus their strategy on pushing their cars as much as they can.
And there's going to be a lot for the teams to handle. So will the drivers and their cars be able to cope with the pressure? Let's find out right here at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Right, what we'll do is we'll go straight away for a new strategy. Start on the hard tyre. And then a second stint on the medium. Create strategy D. I'm going to modify it, so we'll go, let's see, about 30 laps. Gotta be careful with the cliff here. 32 laps, I think that'll work. I think this could work. it's a pretty safe bet. He doesn't have too fresh as a soft, but it should be okay. We're going to go flat out with Lance the whole race, whereas Seb, we're going to try and be a bit more, you know, controlled and, you know, playing the long game. So, strategies in place, everything looks good. Let's send it and let's see how it goes.
We have clear weather tonight as we look at the drivers in their grid positions. And there's Sebastian Vettel. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. There's Lance Stroll, down the grid. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. And we're just moments away now. Here we go, with the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Right, this is it. Here we go. First ever race.
Lights out, and away we go.
Right then, let's have a look. Let's go for some onboard action, shall we? Straight away. Seb off the line with a hard tyre. Stroll just alongside on the soft as we run down to turn number 1. He easily does it through here as we make our way into 1 and 2. Keeping everything pretty basic right now. And we're going to start making some work happen. So, says the track rubber is very low, so that might affect tyre wear. Here goes Lance though, looking for a move.
Defend.
Yeah.
Overtake, overtake. Come on Lance, let's push.
This is good, come on.
Come on Lance, let's go mate, let's try and get this move. Get one of the Haas boys if possible. Let's speed it up. Look at this, here we go. Seb also going for the move.
So DRS is enabled now.
Let's go for a full attack.
Do everything you can, mate.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Seb also looking for the move here on one of the AlphaTauris, but let's see. Come on Lance, get this move done, son. Let's try and get one down into turn 1. Come on, get the elbows out. Go on. Yes.
It's good.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Don't fight teammate. So there we go. We're going to tell Seb to not fight Lance. And there we go. The switch has happened. Although Seb has actually dropped behind Schumacher there. Got a bit too complacent. That actually backfired on us. Meanwhile, Stroll now under pressure from Mick Schumacher. Here we go. And Schumacher gets back in front. For now though, it's looking okay. I'm hedging my bets really on Seb and the strategy he's running. I think that could be potential for us. Okay, we've burned enough fuel with Lance. We're struggling here, so we'll go back to conserve. Batteries looking okay, so we can go to deploy to compensate. And then we'll go for aggressive on the driving. Oh, crash. Here we go. This could be interesting. Let's have a look at this. DRS disabled. Oh dear.
Virtual safety car.
Okay, so virtual safety car. There's a massive pile up at turn 10. I think we're going to take the pit options.
Let's talk tyre. Ultimately, it's your decision. Once you've decided which tyre to move to.
Right, so with Lance, we're going to switch the strategy. We're going to go for the hard tyre. The idea here is if we go on the hard with Lance now, go nice and long, we might be able to fight back later on a soft or a medium. So we'll get the slower tyre out of the way now. We'll get him to pit this lap. The race is still going on, but there's a car park.
It's a crash. Let's take a
What's happened
closer
here?
look.
So it's Gasly behind the Bottas. Bottas runs wide. Not a lot going on, but they've just parked in the middle of the racing line. Okay, so the racing are back underway. We'll keep Seb on the strategy, as Seb might actually gain a lot from this, so we're going to actually go conserve. It's a VSC, so we may as well
Drop back a bit.
Yeah, could be.
we'll put Lance into conserve, harvest during this VSC. Now then, let's see how many cars pit and if the VSC is even going to end. I don't even know how to cancel a stop if the VSC does end, but let's see.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
So no one's pitting except for Stroll and Valtteri Bottas, who was caught up in the incident. So this is good. This gives us a different option on the strategy now with Lance Stroll. Seb's still looking pretty decent on that tyre. Look at this. VSC ensued. That's worked out okay for us. Loads of fuel saved from Seb so we can push. Aggressive on the driving.
VSC ending.
Right, as for Stroll, we're going to go attack from the get-go. Balanced and deploy. Let's give it some. Let's try and get back into this race. Oh, another yellow. Let's see if he spins.
Let's see what happened there. Now let's look. We're watching Nicholas Latifi.
Oh, on the power there, just losing the back end. Right. Anyway, bit of an update. Lap 10 now, so we've got Seb on max push and fuel consumption, whilst on harvest on the battery. Trying to recharge a bit. Same with Lance. We're pushing on the other areas to try and make up for charge. Might go into full saving mode soon though, as we're reaching a critical phase of the race before the first pit stops for those on the soft tyres. And there we go.
Copy.
Alonso gets by. I've got Lance on a bit of a push now to try and make some progress. But there we go, so Alonso gets past Sebastian Vettel.
You are joking.
Focus on Stroll now to really make some progress. He's catching up to the Williams. As you can see here, Bottas is still behind him, so we're looking okay. This sort of pack of cars, you know, from P14 up to P8, we're definitely in the mix. I think hopefully a lot of these guys are two-stopping, so if that's the case, Seb is still in this race. But we need to try and get some saving underway with the fuel, the tyres, the ERS. Put on aggressive as well, just trying to stay ahead of Bottas. But Bottas has already got past, so Bottas is in full push.
That was a position gained for Alfa Romeo.
Didn't have a chance to respond. Bottas flat out. As you can see, they're just giving everything. Fair enough. So Bottas through. Okay, so Stroll has got past Albon. Now trying to chase down Latifi.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
Right, job done.
Let's have a look. Now let's have a look. It's Lance Stroll.
Here's Stroll then with the full power modes. You can see just getting the job done with DRS. We had a yellow flag there briefly. Either way.
Did someone run wide there?
Look at this. Stroll through on Latifi right there. At turn 4, catching the live action.
This is good, come on.
Okay.
So as you can see on the map, we're trying to... I want Stroll to run with Bottas here, so we're going to close the gap.
Great play there. They've moved up a place.
We're going to keep Stroll in that push mode for now to make some progress on Bottas. So Seb's tyres are pretty knackered, I'm not going to lie. We're going to try and get him on... Oh, do I want to do this? We've got more cars in the pits. I want to keep on standard. We're going to keep pushing with Seb here. Hopefully you can hold on. We're going to use a bit of deploy just to try and close the gap a bit back up to Alonso. Gasly.
Aston Martin took a chance and it's paid off.
Gasly just ahead of Seb there. Fuel's fine. We're not going to force that too much. Both Williams in the pits as Stroll continues on. I've got him on aggressive, pushing hard on his tyres because might as well make full use of that. Points are out of the equation today. I don't think they're an option, but we can definitely get like a top 12. This gap we have is the one we've got to try and keep for the rest of the race with the one stop with Seb. Tyres are 53%. A little bit more than what I would have liked. I've not really had Seb in tyre saving at any point during this race. Although it looks like we are still ahead of the tyre schedule, which is good. So that's a good thing. A bit more of this tyre saving, we should be okay.
Now have a watch of this. Looks like Ocon.
There we go, around the outside. Lovely move from Ocon there. Right, so Seb's now running out of a few things. We're going to take a couple laps to really save him up here. So we're going to go for harvest.
We just need to charge up.
Copy.
And light. We'll keep the fuel the same. Once
Back
Seb
off.
drops behind Joe, we'll get him into push mode again.
We have Joe.
Joe getting past Sebastian Vettel. No surprises, same move as the Ocon one. So we're going to slow us down to ×2. We're going to work on Stroll here, so we're going to go for balance. We're going to try and keep that fuel back now. He's in harvesting mode at the moment with the battery. Tyres looking okay as well. Lap 27 now. We've got the drivers in pretty good push modes here. We're going to pick up the ERS modes.
So use energy if you need it.
Seb, you can see just ahead of the McLarens as Schumacher goes off. Schumacher off there, we saw that on the mini map there. Turn number 8. Now with Stroll, we're going to go ahead and add a medium tyre in there. We're going to still make him go relatively long. Now with Lance, I've just added in his final medium stint. I've put it in quite late. The idea is that once he gets on that tyre, he's going to push flat out. Simple as that. Give it everything. So we'll see where he ends up. As for Seb, we've got him now just kind of running them tyres into the ground with the rubber now, giving everything. He's got company as Norris, Ricciardo all getting by.
McLaren gain a position.
So we'll just hang on a bit longer here with Seb. The longer we drag this out, the better. Right then, so Lance is about to get lapped. As you can see, not exactly ideal, but it is what it is. It seems like the VSC didn't really do any favours for us this race, which isn't ideal.
Struggling with tyres.
Alright, we've got to be careful with Seb now. Struggling with tyres.
Yeah, copy that.
Is it working what we're doing?
That is really cool hearing that radio.
Drop back a bit.
So we've got in pretty safe modes. We'll go for we'll keep it all the same for now. He's in next lap, so we can hang on for now. Magnussen seems to be in saving mode. Stroll has now been lapped. He's got out of the way of all the leaders. But Seb's going to pit now anyway. So let's get into it. Pit stop time.
Bastion pit lane.
Copy, copy.
Here we are. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully, smooth stop. This will put Seb a lap down as leaders are making their way into the pit straight right now. Look at that. That's insane. Right then, so we've made Seb's first stint very long. We can now afford to leave him on aggressive pretty much, I'd say, the rest of the race.
Happy to push.
Okay.
And we will go deploy. Important phase here as he's essentially trying to undercut, you know, Norris, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Schumacher. So, alright, Lance is going to pit. There you go. You can see that taking effect now. We've seen the pit stops now already, so we don't have to watch them again. 2.9, and he's back underway. So we can have Stroll on full push to the end, pretty much on those mediums. We'll go for balanced on fuel, and we'll keep the battery on neutral for now. Right now, this should be the time when the remaining cars consider their stops, and there we go. So Gasly pits. Now this is interesting. We're going to see how this all works out. Ocon and Co stay out. Tsunoda pits behind Gasly. Ricciardo stays out. Will Norris and Schumacher pit? Yes, they do. So let's see where they rejoin compared to Seb. I feel like Seb hasn't really been that good on the medium tyre. Schumacher, Norris in the pits. There we go. They're back underway. Not ideal. Lost a bit of time there. Stroll's in no man's land. It seems like we're lacking race pace at the moment. Unfortunately, we're just not there. Just a reality. Bottas and Magnussen in the pits. So Seb will move up to P15 and gain 2 places. But I think that's about it for this race. The best we can hope for, really. So the race arriving at its end now. 5 laps to go. Not a lot happening, really. Vettel staying ahead of Bottas for now. Although I'm not too sure if he'll hold on. Bottas on better tyres, of course. And there we go, Bottas gets by. Look at that, Seb lapping a Williams. Says a lot about our race performance, although this is costing Seb time. I don't know why the Williams ain't getting out of the way. Right then, last lap, not a lot happening now. Bottas was too fast, so we'll just bring this one home. And there we go, across the line. Sebastian Vettel to finish the race. P16 didn't quite get the top 15 goal, missed out by 4 seconds. Bit of a shame. As for Lance, here he is, making his way through the final sector now. The VSC pit stop definitely hurt. Seems like the VSC isn't that powerful, which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, here we go. Through the final corner, and Lance will also cross the line and get the job done for the race. And there we go.
Sebastian Vettel with a comfortable result for his team here.
Seb clearly
Aston
not too
Martin
happy.
had a good enough weekend, but there's still some margin for improvement here.
Yes, I imagine they'll roll up their sleeves now and make sure their next performance goes even better.
With the race wrapped up, the team is ranked in 9th in the constructor standings.
The teams now look ahead to the next round, where they'll duel it out in the sand dunes of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, there we go then. Final race classification. Carlos Sainz wins it with the fastest lap. Fair play, Carlos, mate. Nice work. For us, though, P16 for Seb, P18 for Lance. In the end, not a bad race. We managed to get one of the Haas cars, and we was only 4 seconds off Bottas. So we gave it a shot. No rule change for the championship standings, so let's move to the next one. So the next race is in 4 days in Jeddah. Before that, we're going to just quickly wrap up here and look at our inbox. So we've got quite a few emails. Suspension manufactured.
Looks like the engineering team have just finished manufacturing a car part. It's a suspension system, one the team designed earlier.
Okay, that's good.
Improving our cars is a constant process. The other teams won't be taking it easy. And having a cutting-edge car is vital if we want to stay competitive against our rivals. New car parts are initially designed by the team. They can then be manufactured and installed on either car. This suspension has already been manufactured, so we just need to install it. To do this, head over to the car warehouse. From the cars area, uninstalled car parts are stored in the warehouse, including our newly manufactured suspension. We might be able to use it to improve one of our current car setups.
Right then, so let's go to the warehouse.
Here at the warehouse, you can find all the car parts that make up an F1 car. We can develop aerodynamic car parts in-house during the season. You're here for the new suspension.
Right, let's get the suspension on.
Right. All the available suspension designs are here to look through. Notice how both cars currently have the same suspension design installed. Check the new design at the top of the list. As each car can only have one suspension fitted, you'll want to check the stats of the new design to see if it's worth replacing the old one.
So as you can see, we're in the warehouse and we have a suspension to install. Now we're going to compare the two and see which are better. You can see the new one doesn't reduce any of our stats and it improves a couple in the process. So we get a slightly higher top speed. We also get slightly better high speed and medium speed cornering, and not a lot of low speed, but that is good because it improves the weak areas of the car, which is, you know, top speed and also medium to high speed. So we will take this and we will install on car number 1.
Great work. That's the new suspension fitted. If you want to have more copies of this design manufactured, you can do so from here. Just remember those F1 mandated spending caps, the official limit on how much we can spend on car development and improvement each season. If you don't want the team to manufacture anything right now, we should probably head back.
Now I am going to manufacture this part as it does improve our weak areas, and of course we have the cost cap to bear in mind, but still we will approach it and go ahead and do it. So let's have a look. It's going to cost us $50,000 to design, which isn't too bad. We'll do just one. Or should I do 2? Or should I get... we'll do 2. So we'll do 1 for Lance and we'll get a spare. Approach. We will do rushed and get this on ASAP. We don't want an emergency. That's way too much. But we'll go for rushed and get that on. So let's take that. So we're going to start a new design project in terms of upgrades.
There are 3 different types of projects the engineering team can work on. We can design a new car part for use this season, manufacture copies of existing designs, or undertake research to develop our team's expertise for next season.
Right, so we can't do research yet. So we'll go for design.
These are car parts we can design and manufacture in-house. Each car part impacts different areas of the car's performance, but certain car parts will have a greater impact than others.
Now I want to try and improve, the issues we have with straight line speed and cornering speed. So we're going to go ahead and do a front wing upgrade. Now then, as you can see, we can select the car part attributes. We're going to go for design focus and see what we can do with this. Right, so as you can see, we can choose what we want it to do. If we move the slider, it's going to affect other areas. So let's bear that in mind. Let me see what I can come up with. Okay, so this is what the upgrade is going to look like. Overall, we're going to take a bit of an improvement to the weaker areas, which is of course the high speed and the medium speed. Low speed will stay the same, and then airflow sensitivity in terms of keeping that clean air working. It just means the brake cooling won't improve that much, but we are going to gain in top speed, we're going to gain in medium speed, high speed, and also just overall top speed. So we want that. That's going to help us out, and I think it'll be a big improvement to us. So we'll go for this, and we'll see how it works. Of course, we'll learn on the way and see how things move on. Now, as you can see, it's going to cost us nearly $800,000 to get this front wing on. We're going to increase the amount of engineers we have. We'll keep the approach on. We'll go rush, actually. It's not too much more. We'll put 5 engineers on this because I want this to be on here quick and see if we can make an improvement. So if you look at show rank on grid, you can see here the low speed and the medium speed will improve quite a bit. We're not really getting much in the high speed, so we're definitely quite a way down on that front. But anyway, we'll see. Compared to the second car, you can see here improvements all around. So we're going to confirm this. 1.2 mil. We're also going to go ahead and develop some more parts for the car. So I think for this one, I want to try and work on the underfloor. I feel like there's a bit of a pace advantage here, of course. Now with the new ground effect, we can definitely work on this. So now just kind of deciding how much time I want to spend on this. We've got the CFD, which we're going to do probably an hour on. That takes up out of our 6, one of them already. Wind tunnel hours, we'll go for 8 hours. I think that'd be okay. It should give us improvements to track reduction from 17th to 15th. The low speed, by the way, is going to take a massive improvement on this, which is great, and the medium speed as well. So it's going to keep us nice and sharp and improve the airflow. So let's go for it. Now we get to design how to do it. So focus preset, high speed performance. That's what we want. Look at this, high speed from 19th to 3rd. That's pretty insane, to be fair. I'll balance it out a little bit. So we'll bring it in by 2 clicks. Yeah, I think we'll go there. I like that. That's good. I'm happy with that. Nicely balanced up. Let's go for it. Engineers, we'll go 5. We won't rush this one. I think we'll rush it as well. Why not? We might as well spend the money. We've got to try and improve. So 5 engineers. Let's rush it. Let's get it going. So we can't design anything because we've got all our engineers at work. Manufacture copies of an existing car part. We don't need to do that right now. So that's good. Current project, you can see we've got all these upgrades on the works. Right then, so at a later date we'll take care of, engineer, staff, and also facilities. But for now, we're going to move into the next race. Before we go, we've got a couple more emails to get through. So we've got the post-race overview from the race, of course, which we saw. Patrick Stafford said that the board watched the race and are disappointed with the team performed below expectation. But the board are still happy. You can see in board confidence here. Medium confidence, satisfied and happy. So let's see. There's only one race. We've still got plenty of time to go. And then debrief. So medium speed cornering could be better. That's according to Seb. Interesting. We should design a new car part to help us improve this attribute and keep us competitive. Well, that's what we've done with the underfloor by improving the medium and high speed. The braking performance could be improved. Developing it in this area as well. Okay. So possible brake improvements for Sebastian Vettel. Understood. We will bear that in mind as the next set of upgrades. But then here we are then. For the next race in Jeddah, we're going to quickly set the performance targets. So, incentives. reach Q2, we get 90,000. Of course, we've got the new suspension on the car this race. Race targets. Do we want to go for that? Hold the fastest lap for the race session. Are we even fast enough for that? I don't think so. We'll give it a crack, but I'm not super confident. And then, of course, the hot streak. Can't really do any of those. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I think we can definitely do the qualifying and race targets for this race, especially if we sacrifice one race strategy for a soft tyre glory run at the end of the race. For now, though, we're good to go. Next race is Jeddah. So leave a like, guys, if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more daily F1 content on my channel. And as always, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. But as always, a massive shout out to the members, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.